This will break your heart. Please listen to the end. Days ago, the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said that the so-called Ukrainian grain has long been a U.S. commercial product because it is grown on land owned by U.S. companies. Hungary has not been able to export a single gram of the planned 10,000 tons of Ukrainian grain to Sudan with its own money since late 2022 because Kiev never authorized it. Hungarian Foreign Minister Péter Szijjártó said on Wednesday. When the initiative dubbed Grain from Ukraine was launched at the end of last year, Hungary donated €3.5 million to export 10,000 tons of grain to Sudan. But despite the Hungarian taxpayers providing financing last year, not just a single ton, but a single gram of grain has not been shipped to Sudan from Ukraine as part of the Grain from Ukraine program, Szijjártó said during his address at the UN General Assembly, which was broadcast by Hungary's media. Hungary is unfortunately still waiting for permission from the Ukrainian authorities, the minister said. As soon as we get it, we will be able to ship the 10,000 tons of grain from Ukraine to Sudan at the expense of the Hungarian budget, Szijjártó said. This shows the absurdity of the whole grain situation, because at the moment, transnational companies are trying to make significant profits by not sending Ukrainian grain to poor countries, and instead flooding Central European markets with it, thus ruining Central European farmers and not alleviating the food crisis in Africa and the Middle East, Szijjártó said. Remember when Vladimir Putin broke his silence on why Russia canceled and pulled out of the grain deal, and then accused the West of using grains meant for African countries to enrich themselves and feed their European populations instead? The mainstream media called him a liar and said that Putin pulled out of the deal because he hates Africans. Now, Hungary, a NATO member state, has openly, on such a global platform as the UNGA, accused the same Western powers and the Ukrainian authorities of refusing to release grains already paid for by Hungary to those who desperately need them in Africa. Imagine how much this would have helped the suffering people of Sudan, especially since war broke out there. But till this day, the grain has not been released, and this grain has been paid for in full. If this is not wickedness from the pit of hell, tell me what is. I mean, how is it so difficult to know who the enemy is here? Someone paid for grain and said, send this to people who are hungry and starved in a war-torn African country, where it's urgently needed, and you seized and hijacked the grain for about a whole year and counting. That's broad daylight robbery, heartlessness on another level, and this is how much they love Africans. But I'm so happy that Africa is finally waking up to the diabolic insensitivity of these modern-day colonial agents. Nothing will stop Africa's rising, because when Africa is fully risen, no one will be sending us grains from Ukraine anymore. Because we live in a continent where you have the most organically and naturally existing arable lands. There's nothing you plant on the soils of Africa that will not grow and thrive. Under normal circumstances, no one should send any farm produce to Africa. The reverse should be the case because we have it all. But you know the whole story. You know how they have sat on our destinies for ages and raped our land with impunity and sucked our commonwealth dry. But the good news is, the whole colonial nonsense is over now. We are on our way out, and soon, if we maintain this revolutionary momentum, we will be the ones sending grains to Ukraine and much of Europe. And I bet they won't be happy to see that Niger Republic paid for tons of grain for shipment to Ukraine, and then ECOWAS sat on it and chose instead to let Ukrainians starve to death while they played bloody politics with the grain deal. Arise, Mama Africa. This is your moment. God bless Africa, God bless Biafra, and may God bless Russia. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share widely for more updates. Have a blessed day and stay safe.